You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete. Intelligent System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You're listening to episode 56 of SITREPRadio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of the Division. Updates 1.6.1 is going live very soon, and ETF Charlie begins next week. But first, my name is Mike, and joining me are my co-hosts, Robert.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hello.
And guys, what have we been up to this week?
We've been farming loads of exotics, haven't we? We've done a ton of incursions, legendaries. Well, I've done loads of legendaries.
Yeah, I was going to say, did anybody get anything good?
No. Boo. I didn't play Destiny this week.
Did you not?
No.
Oh no, because we played Overwatch instead, didn't we?
We played Overwatch, yes.
That's 2 weeks running now, Rob.
No, I played last week. I just didn't play very much last week.
Okay.
Yeah, but Division's been pretty awesome this week. It's been nice kind of taking a break and we've been obviously dipping in and out of it, but this week I felt like I've been playing a lot more of it than I have been normally and really enjoyed it. Absolutely slaughtered Dragon's Nest last night, didn't we, guys?
Oh yeah, that was good fun.
It's really easy now, isn't it? I used to really enjoy that incursion, but it's like super easy now.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering where you were going to go with that, because I saw the look on your face. It's like, I don't remember doing
Dragon's Nest. I definitely remember doing it, because you got a golden rhino at last.
Oh, yes, the best.
The best.
That's exactly what I've been looking for.
The pink gun.
Is it?
But yeah, we did that. We completely failed Clear Sky Heroic this week, didn't we? That was
but I know a way we can do it now.
I wasn't going to mention that.
No, but we'll move on from that, because stuff. And we've been playing.
Sorry, go on.
No, what were you saying, man?
I was going to say we're all going to jump on Rainbow Six Siege soon, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll give that a shout. There's an offer going at the minute. I think it's about £15. If you're in the UK, yes. That is £15. I don't know if it's on sale elsewhere, but I think there's a lot of Ubisoft games or Tom Clancy games are at half price or something like that at the minute on the PSN store and probably elsewhere. So definitely go check them out. But yeah, a little bit of Overwatch. That's been good fun this week. Teaming up with Edelon Fox and Brad and Weezer. If you're listening, dude, I'm so sorry because I know you've messaged me a couple of times this week trying to jump in with us, and we've disappeared by the time you've got home. So sorry about that, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you.
Stupid time zones.
Yeah. Before we head into the news, I just want to thank everybody for the huge response we had over last week's podcast, guys. We had the chance to sit down with Arix and talk a little bit about turning survival into a battle royale mode, and definitely caused some decent discussions for or against the idea, which is definitely good. And we put out a petition to go out alongside that, which I think it's sitting about 230 signups at the minute. So thank you to everyone who's joined us on that venture, and it's not over yet. We'll keep plugging away at the petition and narrow down the details on the actual mode itself. And you can all be part of the discussion. You can either hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, just search for SITREPRadio. I think I put out a post on Reddit and on the Ubisoft forums as well, so you can go check those out and find more details over there.
Can we organise a link in the show notes?
Yes, I will. We also had the chance to sit down with Weezer and Binary and Sage from Stone Signal Radio, and we had pretty good discussion with them, just kind of discussing whether it's a good idea, how easy it could actually be to create, and a lot of other people were on the same page as us, and good luck to Binary, who's making his way to ETF Charlie next week, and I know he's definitely interested in a battle royale mode because he's playing Battlegrounds, so maybe you can field that to the dev team, and we'll see what happens from that.
And Binary, anyway. My name is Rob, Okay? Not the third guy.
Or Richard.
I just want to make that clear. And I'm sorry for missing the podcast.
Anyway, let's get down to some news.
State of the game.
So finally, we can talk about it. Update 1.6.1 is being released on May 23rd, Tuesday, next week, if everything goes well, I'm guessing on Sony's time.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Sony.
Side. Yeah. Fingers crossed, Sony have their shit together for next week. And as far as we know, update 1.6.1 patch notes will be released Monday the 22nd, so the day before. So we'll get to go through all that. And hopefully Rob will be in a good mood and go into details on all of those on next week's podcast.
Yeah, robot voice time.
Robot voice time. I like that. I'm looking forward to that podcast.
What else has been happening in the world of the Division, Luke?
Well, they're really cranking up towards ETF Charlie, aren't they? I know you mentioned it in your previous little speech. Starts next Tuesday, I believe. Binary Num, Riley or Taylor. I know Shifty Five's going as well. So, was it 12 players heading over to Newcastle Reflection Studios? They confirmed in today's State of the Game, or yesterday's State of the Game when you're listening to this, that it will be Year 2 in general that they discuss. So updates 1.7 and 1.8. Extra bug fixes, quality of life changes. So I think it was Yannick that mentioned it might be like a 1.7.1 or a 1.8.1, depending how they feel. They want the ETF to primarily focus on update 1.8, because a lot of 1.7 is quote unquote like sorted, ready to go. So obviously there's plenty of time for the ETF changes to be put in. Are you two going to stop dancing in the background?
Sorry.
I'm going to call you out every time you do that now.
I don't mind.
Would you like to carry on?
No, I'm stopping now.
Workshop topics, gear sets, exotic weapons, exotic gear, ninja bike, for example, balancing of PvP, balancing the dark zone, road mechanics, etc., etc., etc. And the one thing I think we're even divided upon between the three of us is a gear score increase.
I'm for it.
Rob?
Same.
Oh, I'm wrong then. We all want one.
But yeah,
I'm going to say now, I think it's something that was missed, and we've already discussed this, but it's something that was definitely missed in 1.6 gear score change. Obviously everybody wanted to try all the new stuff and get the last stand and all that crap, and yeah, we'll have to see, I guess.
I think that we need a gear score change, but they need to
change the way they do it.
They need to make exotics stay, like your exotics stay at the level, like the high level. I don't know how they could do that. Like
infusion mechanic.
Yeah, but they can't do that. They could do that, but I don't think they will.
Magic. Use magic.
Space magic.
Yeah. Space magic.
Destiny.
It would have to be poison magic, wouldn't it, for Division?
Yeah. Virus magic.
Virus magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Or hacker. Well, no, not hacker magic. There's no hackers in Division.
Shade tech magic.
Anyway.
Shade tech magic, that'll do.
Shade tech.
Good shout.
What else do we have, Rob?
Involvement of the community. They're trying to involve the community with the ETF. That everyone, I have seen loads of ETF members like posting surveys and stuff on Twitter and to help them decide what's going to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get like daily summaries on the forums from Division, on the official Division forum.
Yeah, they're basically going to go over like what they've talked about and what they've actually discussed throughout the day, and I think that's kind of good to keep everybody outside the ETF kind of up to date with that.
It's going to be limited though, isn't it? Because they can't make everyone sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Well, they could.
What, everybody?
And they announced a meet and greet. Well, they didn't really announce it. They kind of just said, they haven't really said where they're going to be. They're going to try and organise like somewhere in Newcastle for everyone to go meet the dev team.
Everybody
On
just walk around
Wednesday
in
night.
Newcastle with your Division T-shirt on and see if you find each other.
You do that. You do that when you go to like a metal gig or something like that.
I love it if they pick a bar and it's like a bar that only fits like 100 people and like 1,000 people turn up. It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, but this game's dead. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That was a joke, by the way.
I thought you had more to say than, yeah.
I was thinking of something, but I can't. And as a final heads up, there's no State of the Game next week. But you can always listen to us, as we will have our own news about something I've just made up.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Nobody else could see the confused look on Rob's face then, but that was brilliant. We'll have our own news about stuff that I need to decide upon.
We'll talk
While I'm
about Dusty
drinking
for
my
a week.
wine.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think of it this way. You know, they're going to be hopefully putting out a little bit of news of what's happening throughout the week. So we've got that. We've got updates 1.6.1. We'll be trying that out if we can.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
As much as possible. And what else? Trying to think. Something. No. Yeah. And we'll, probably have a little bit more of what we'll talk about in a bit. There's two things. There's another thing I haven't actually written on show notes, but did anybody hear what seasons was referred to in the State of the Game?
No.
No, but I did. No, it was.
Global events.
Yeah, but what did they call the other thing that they're going to do? Oh,
Commendations.
Yeah, that was it.
They've called, what was it before?
Riffs. Was it riffs?
No, it wasn't riffs.
It was feats, wasn't it?
Feats.
Yeah, feats, not riffs.
Oh, I don't know. Got Destiny on the brain, sorry.
Yeah. That's slightly worrying. I guess we'll see. Depends what global events mean. I guess. I'd rather it was district events, not global events. Seeing as we're in New York. I don't know.
See, that's why you should be at the ETF, coming up with snappy names like that.
Well, they did say that they haven't really decided on the names yet, have they? They haven't divisionified them.
Divisionified.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like Seasons was like what Overwatch and Diablo has and stuff like that, and I was just kind of like, when they changed it to global events, it's kind of like, please still be what we hope it is, not. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do the other games that you've just mentioned call them seasonal events?
Yes.
Perhaps that's why they want to re-divisionify it, as Rob would say, so that they're not using the same word as every other game. Either that or they're going to fuck it up. One of the two.
Oh, God. Well, we'll find out in a couple of months, I guess. But yeah. And it wasn't actually announced on the State of the Game this week, but I thought I'd bring it up. For anybody that follows game news outside of the division, Ubisoft have basically just announced their E3 schedule. And what also came up with that as well is that 8 AAA titles will be coming in the next 2 years. So between now and 2019, 4 of those are Far Cry 5, which is apparently a Western, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. It's got the best title ever. Assassin's Creed, and The Crew 2. Now, obviously, they haven't mentioned what the next 4 are, but one of the next 4 out of the 8 is a new IP. So it's definitely not Division 2, the new IP.
Division 2.
But 3 of those spaces could be the Division 2. What do you reckon?
Well, it's going to be another Assassin's Creed game.
Do they drop one of those every year?
Pretty much. No, they did, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
So they might go back to it. If not, then I'll shut up. But the fact that The Crew is getting a sequel means that The Division most definitely should be getting a sequel.
Right, okay, so let's do it. For anybody that doesn't know what The Crew is, it's a MMO.
Shit car game.
Thank you, Rob, as always.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. It's not the best. It didn't do very well. I don't think it sold that well. So it's another case in point. We have to have the Division 2 coming. If that terrible game is getting a sequel,
I don't know. I might eat my words. We might all be playing The Crew 2 at some point.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the Crew Radio podcast, I guess.
Cars have radios in them, don't they? There you go. Job done. SITREPRadio. SITREP car radio.
Well, if you
look at that.
See? Bang. New name. Done. Might make a logo. Let's go.
I thought you wanted SITREP Destiny radio.
Get fucked.
But yeah, I don't know what you think about that, Luke, but I just thought radio. It was a little bit of news.
Well, I have to admit I didn't even know what The Crew was. I asked you two in PSN chat yesterday, didn't I? And Rob's description was even more straight to the point yesterday than it was just now, which I won't repeat. I think
it was like one word, if I remember right.
No, it was a few more than that. But
I shouldn't really have such a bad opinion on it. I never actually played the game, but from what I've seen
That's a
of
good point.
It looked terrible.
If you enjoy that game, obviously keep playing that game because you're getting a sequel. We don't even know if we're getting a sequel.
If you did enjoy that game, you're wrong.
Well, somebody on my Twitter feed posted an article about Ubisoft and their IPs for 2016, which The Division obviously was one of them, or sorry, their figures for 2016. And The Division across all three platforms has got 44 million unique logins. Now, some of those people will be people like Rob, for example, that have bought it on 2 platforms. Other people have obviously bought it on all 3 that we know about, but that's still like Rob's doing the Make It Rain emote.
Rob thinks he's got strippers in front of him.
People have bought that game more than once and played it. Now, 44 million copies of that game have been sold, whether they be full price copies like what we bought with the season pass or whatever, or whether they be the ones that are on offer at 20 quid or whatever they were recently. That's a fuck ton of money.
Mm. And you think the game's half price at the minute, and they've just had a free weekend, and there'll probably be another free weekend in a couple of months when seasons drops and things like that. So, they're getting new players all the time, and it's good. I just wish there was a little bit more clarity, of what's coming.
They might tell us at E3.
I don't think they will.
They'll say it next year.
I think we might hear something E3 next year. They've already clarified anybody that was... I don't think there was anything to worry about anyway, but obviously Avatar, the game, is coming out in 2020, which it's been announced for.
I'm just saying, because we saw like footage, or like we had a trailer for The Division like how many years before it came out? Like there was like stuff...
I think it was like 2015 because it was meant to come out on last gen consoles.
Mm. But use Destiny 2 as your example for this. When did you first find out about Destiny 2, like E3 wise?
That was like 2 years prior to 2014. So what, 2013?
Destiny 2.
Oh, Destiny 2, sorry. Yeah, good point.
There was a lot of rumors, and like Bungie do a good job of leaking information.
Purpose.
But when, like, officially, when like for example, use E3. When did you know about
January?
Destiny 2?
January, February.
Yeah, but it's been leaked by Kotaku back in February last year.
Yeah,
but you're saying officially January, February of this year, so like 4 months ago.
When it got pre-orders went out, I think it was in March,
and it drops in September, so 9 months.
But look at it another way. Obviously, the Crew 2, 2014 December, or another way of putting it, December 2014. That's when that game actually got released. It feels like it was released a lot sooner than that. It felt like it was 2015. It's basically like a 2-year. Was it 2014? I think it was like 2015 or something like that. I could be wrong, but it's basically been about a 2-year span at the minute. And that game is meant to be releasing in 2017, and 2017 could be anywhere between now and March because of how the physical year goes. So, if you look at the turnaround for the Division, we're talking, I would have said, between March next year and March 2019.
March 2019
Division. Yeah, I think we'll at least hear something next year at E3,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there. But I just hope we get something to fill the gap in between in year 3, but we'll see, I guess.
Destiny.
That's a different podcast. And if you want to listen to that podcast, Rob, you can go listen to In Orbit over on the Mash Those Buttons network.
Smooth. He's good.
That was a
He's
good
good. You've got to give him
transition, Mike. Well done.
Yeah, Weezer, if you're still listening at this point, definitely go over and check out that podcast. Ideas for Massive is a new, what would you say it's called, Rob?
It's a segment of our show that I have came up with that made no sense.
Handcrafted it.
Basically, we come up with ideas every week, don't we? Pretty much that Massive is stealing.
You do.
Unintentionally. So I just figured, as none of us are going to the ETF, we could just do our bit by giving them an idea every week. I've got one for this week. I'm going to set a task for one of you guys to do one for next week. Or if you can't think of one, nick one from Reddit. And just quote the user, I guess. But my idea, I actually gave this to Massive already because I did it on the Dark Zone. I put it on my Dark Zone
survey.
That's the one. It's basically to like supply drops or contamination events. You do this, like an event happens probably once every hour, every 2 hours in the Dark Zone that spawns a control point from Last Stand, just one, and a team will have to get there and hold it for a certain length of time, and then the rest of the server has to try and take it back from them. I mean, that's just the basic of the idea. Thoughts, guys?
Sorry, just leave
Stoneface
hanging there. Yeah, you said this to me. What was it, yesterday? I thought it was a good idea. Is it a case just like one team gets it and they have to hold it to obtain it, or can the other teams get it? Or
that I hadn't really thought about because that's something that that would have to be thought about quite a lot because of like people exploiting it, like with switching servers and stuff. So I don't know. There's probably a bit of, because I thought about I went into like I thought about it a lot and went into detail of what you could do, and then I thought, hang on, people are just gonna wreck that because that's what the Division community does.
Hey, we have the best community.
But that was just the basis of the idea. I don't know how they would implement it, like time-wise. They'd have to like test it, I guess. It's just an idea of creating more conflict in the Dark Zone. That's what it's there for.
If this was to happen, would you have... Obviously, we've got supply drops in the game. So this is already something that could be implemented, right?
Yeah, because like there's no like supply drops. There isn't a conflict there anymore. Not really. No one really goes for them. I mean, no one really cuts the rope anymore because
only when it's on the leaderboards.
You can't tank it anymore.
But to pick up your idea a little bit, I mean, you said to me you wanted to have like an increased chance of an exotic cache in it or something.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that,
if you manage to, like, if your team gets there and holds it for and then stays there and fights off the server while protecting it, then you should be like guaranteed an exotic every time, I reckon. And then you get loot for killing the team that are holding it, I guess, and then it would just disappear. Other than that, I haven't really thought about it.
Sounds interesting. I'd be I'm definitely up for something that brings about more conflict that's not just random chicken dancing in the Dark Zone. So
because like you know where someone's gonna if that pops up on your map, you know there's gonna be some PvP there, so you can just run there.
It's almost like control point, but just one of them. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
I mean, there'll be like the turret there as well to help you. So they'd have to the server would have to conflict with that and like the pulse point and.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Would you have it randomized locations?
Well, they've already got them there on the DZ map, so they could reuse the ones that are already in the game. Just
What you
random.
mean the supply drop areas? Yeah.
No, the ones in Last Stand are already set, aren't they? A, B, and C. They're already there on the maps. They can just reuse them and just do one randomly every hour.
See, that'd be very interesting because you'd have 24 people in a server all
trying to get
fighting
to that point.
each other.
There you go.
Like, and it'd be the only problem with that is people can group up. So you might have 8 people, but
yeah, but then you've got the really bad rogue mechanic that's still going to be there. That if they're all fighting to kill this one team, if one of the other team goes rogue, they're all going to turn around and kill those rogues.
Shoot each other anyway. So it's basically going to turn into an absolute shit show trying to get one. But I would say if you were to do this idea, 5-minute timer.
I think that's too long. I did think about this, and I thought that's too long.
I think anything lower than that is not good enough. I think 1 drop per hour, so 1 location, so it forces everybody in that server to the same area.
Yep.
And then that way you haven't got people like running off trying to get when we have supply drops, you see like rogues up one end by a supply drop.
But
you go the other way.
You can fast travel anywhere in the dark zone now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it'd be quite nice for like 5-10 minutes focus conflict in one area and move people away from like DZ2 and stuff like that. And just keep the incentive to actually get that. I still think if you're gonna throw a high chance of an exotic in there, you've only got 1.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. Yeah, it's gotta be tough.
Literally just 1, and have it spawn maybe randomly once every half hour, once every hour, or something like that. But only 1 person is allowed to pick it up. But your whole fire team has to fight to get it. So not only is it going to cause conflict between all 24 players, but you've got potential to cause conflict between your fire team as well.
Well, no, because you can share it on your fire team. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, you can. But obviously at this point, everyone's got exotics and things like that. So it'll make it a little bit easier. But you said to me this idea during the week, and I really like it. I think it definitely bring a lot more conflict back to the DZ, which is what we need, I think. Everyone happy, Luke?
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I less stupid encounters in the dark zone, as I like to say, chicken dancing, whatever. Yeah, I like that. I tend to disagree with you on only 1 person in your fire team gets the exotic, but I guess
my idea was everyone in that team that's holding the checkpoint would just get a cash.
I get what Mike's trying to say, because if you only get 1 out of the 4 of you that gets it, it makes you want to go the next one in an hour. So then, like, for argument's sake, Rob could have the first one, Mike gets the second one, I get the third one. We've got to stay in the dark zone for 3 hours. But
I'm not saying you don't get rewards, but I'm saying like the high chance goes to 1 person in that fire team.
Ah, yeah. That's good.
That's how I would do it. But the thing is, loot at the minute is defunct. I disagree with loot being the basis for game modes and this, that, and the other at the minute. I really think replayability is the main factor, and conflict, especially in something like the DZ.
Just make it no loot. You get that 1. I'm going to change my mind here. I like your idea, and I'm going to explain why. Make it just 1 exotic that the 4 of you have to argue about.
Make it RNG who gets it.
But
the best thing about it
every time
you get your patches or whatever that are going to come with quote unquote seasonal events. So we survived 1 fucking control point or whatever you want to call it, dark zone control point or whatever.
Yeah,
but then you get a number that goes over your patch when you've survived another one. So you got 2, 3, 4, 12, 1 million if you're that good.
But you could help. It could go 2 ways. You could actually, because obviously you get rogue players and you get non-rogue players. So the non-rogue players could effectively help the people trying to get this cash. It's not likely to happen.
That's not gonna happen, dude.
You've been in the dark zone recently.
No, I know, but these are the sort of situations that something like this would bring up. You would get a team trying to help them extract, and you would get a load of other people trying to stop them. And then once that happens, it would drop on the floor. And to be honest, it's complete shit show. Whoever picks it up first is, I think that's fair enough.
No. No. It's got to only drop for the 4 that hold the control point. You can't have it drop and just some random idiot run in just at the right time and pick it up.
I think you should make it
Just
RNG,
into the server.
RNG who gets it in that team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with RNG placing it with the person itself. But you think you could hold that 5 minutes is a long time in the DZ. You know how long it is to run off Manhunt. That's a long time.
Can I just bring something to your attention, Mike? You're wanting to let RNG decide something between me, you, and Rob.
Well, we're
Thing is,
every time.
Remember, the rogue mechanic will still be there, so the chances are you will be rogue as well as protecting this point. Because as soon as someone arrives, you're going to want to kill them because they're going to try and kill you.
True.
Yeah, but you're going to have 20 odd people chasing you.
Are we saying this exotic still needs to be extracted, or does it go straight into your stash box?
Straight into stash.
No.
That would be
Yeah, okay.
It's DZ cash box or expansion slot.
That would be such a bitch if you protected it for 5 minutes and then someone just nicks it off your back.
But what? Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Like, it's like when you play Last Stand or like we've been playing Overwatch. The control points on that. You hold it for 5 minutes, or you're defending for 5 minutes, and then you get to like literally the last 1 minute or 40 seconds or something like that, and the whole game can change in that last 40 seconds. So yeah, I'm definitely for that idea. So that's our first segment of ideas for Massive. I say first segment, but we've had a few. We just haven't labeled them as a segment.
We need like a theme tune for it.
Oh god. You can get
another.
You can get Brad and Edel and Fox to sing it.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Because that wouldn't make anybody's ears bleed or anything.
Anyway, speaking of ears bleeding, where can the listeners find us, guys?
You can find us at SITREPRadio on Twitter and on Facebook. Send any questions or feedback to the show to our email address, which is sitrepradiopod@gmail.com, or tweet us with the hashtag TeamSitRep, as we're all affiliated with that hashtag.
If anybody's got any ideas for the Ideas for Massive segment, please email them to that Gmail address, because we'll read those out as well. That'd be quite interesting to see.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, or tweet him to us on Twitter.
Right,
or find us on Facebook, like Rob just said. I'm just repeating it.
Yeah, good job, dude.
You can find SITREP Radio on any of the following platforms: iTunes and Apple Podcasts for iOS devices, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Overcast, Stitcher, Player.fm, Pocket Casts, RSS feeds, and please rate, review, and subscribe while you're there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Make sure you go over and check out Mash Those Buttons over on the Twitters, Facebook, and YouTube. Go and check out some of the awesome podcasts that are part of our Mash Those Buttons family. Robert?
And don't forget to check the video out on YouTube of the episode.
It's quite funny. I have to remind Rob to remind our listeners.
You have to remind me to do it tomorrow.
Before we go, we got 2 things I can think about. Luke, do you want to say a huge shout out to our winner for the SITREP Speed Challenge this week?
Yeah, it was at Answer to Everything. He was the only person to get a sub 5 minute time. He barely scraped it. I think there's arguments that it was still technically 5 minutes, but I gave him an official 4 minute 59 seconds.
Ooh.
Broadway Emporium, hard mode, Word Tier 5.
That's impressive.
Your SITREP Radio mug is in the post. There will be a new speed challenge starting next Wednesday, possibly Thursday, but we'll sort that and keep an eye on the Twitters.
Yeah, we'll try and get that out there a little bit earlier so people are well prepared, because we had a lot of people wanting to do the previous one to the one that we've just run, but they kind of caught up like a day after or 2 days after, and we had a lot more on this one. So thank you very much to everybody that was involved. So we'll try and get the mission out there for that speed challenge.
Might even put a
maybe
tweet
we
out
should
over the
make it
weekend.
like
I'm just going to keep the
maybe
mission
we should
secret.
make it a week-long one.
I have no idea what you guys said, because that was over the top of each other. Go.
I just thought maybe we should make the speed challenge like a week long, so people won't miss it.
I think it drags it out a little bit. I think having a couple of days to get it nailed down, but giving people enough notice is pretty good. The only thing I think would be a good idea is shout out to Matt Shotcher, we have to sort out our SITREPRadio Speed Challenge hashtag. It's a little bit long. So if anybody's got any ideas, tweet the show, email us. That would be awesome. Acronyms.
That's my idea. There you go.
Do you want me to put hashtag acronyms?
No, I mean, like, turn it into an acronym.
And
denied.
Completely ignore it.
Thanks to Sean Winder. He's basically allowing us to post our podcast over on the Division Elites Facebook. You can find them. Just search for them on Facebook. Thank you very much, man. So thank you for listening, agents, and we'll catch you in the dark zone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.